We have been sitting here for the last 40 minutes talking about dating and relationships and talking about our list of challenges, and I don't even, it says we're live now in another event.
We are? Are we actually live this time?
But no, we are live now.
We weren't live though.
But I don't think we were live. Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Hey, it's all part of the learning curve. So
someday, many moons from now, you guys will go find this. You'll start digging through the archive videos and find this live and start laughing. It's like, hey, remember that live where you guys weren't live? And you just came back laughing about how you
my God.
40 minutes talking to nobody.
Oh my God. Okay. It's all right. It's all right. Okay. So this live will not be as long as we originally intended, because we were going to do this live and then go out, and we've been literally talking for over half an hour. And then I just looked up and it was like, go live. I was like, go live? Oh my God, I can't do this all over again. Okay. All right. It's all right. It's all right. Okay. Let's just recap.
Kind of hilarious, really.
Let's recap. Let's recap.
Kind of awesome.
Oh my God. Let's recap what we were talking about. We're going to call it, instead of calling it COVID, we're going to say since complicated times. Is that what we were saying?
Just
since complications. Because if we use that word, they're going to boot us off. So we're just going to talk about love, dating, and relationships right now in the time of complication. Okay. And now I lost my there it is. Whoop, I had it for a second. And I have a new Pixel. Can I just say, if anybody that's watching this has any sort of information on Pixels, please talk to me, because I'm about to jump off a bridge. Okay. Oh, it's the new Pixel 6. I had the original Pixel. It was great. This phone is driving me crazy. Okay. I don't know if I'm not programming it right, but let's just skip that. Okay. Oh my God. Here we go. Now we've covered everything. Let's just go back. So the first thing is a lack of chemistry, the 10-40 rule. Let's talk about chemistry and the 10-40 rule. What's 10-40 rule, Justin?
I don't know, Sandra. What's the 10-40 rule? You
the 10-40 rule, according to Michael, my best friend, one of my best friends.
It's hilarious.
Is when you meet a woman that was online, you look at her profile. When you meet her in real life, she's going to either be 10 pounds, 10 years older, or 40 pounds heavier than her profile pictures. And I asked Justin, when we weren't on the live, how do you deal with that? Justin, when you show up to the restaurant and her picture was this, and you show up and that's her, but 10 years ago and 50 pounds lighter, what do you do? What do you do?
I know two schools of thought.
You run.
One is just you show up and you're really nice, and then you just go through the motions and you get up and you leave, and that's that, and you don't talk to them again, or you maybe just, hey, I'm not really that interested. The other school of thought is I know a gentleman who's very affluent and practiced at dating, and he'll just walk in and say, hey, you're not representing where you're at in life right now, and I'm not interested in dishonest people, so you have a good night, and just turn and walk out.
Right.
Save his time, save his money.
And as much as I hate to say it, you guys, I agree. And I know that we all want to put our best foot forward. And I'm not going to take a picture of myself fresh out of bed with my hair crazy and no makeup on in my profile. But at the same time, doing a glamour shot from 1985 where the whole photo is filtered to the point that, okay, there's that. Okay, 90 Day Fiance. Remember? There was that couple on 90 Day Fiance. And they'd never met. And he's from some Middle Eastern country. Don't quote me. And she's from America. And she sent him, every time she sent him pictures or did videos, she'd have the filter on. And she was and then she sent him pictures of herself. But it was some sort of iPhone crazy filter that you wouldn't even recognize that was her. Okay. If I knew her and she was my friend and I saw that picture, I'd be like, oh, she's pretty. Who's that? And this woman was 45. I can't remember her name now. But she sends her pictures to this guy, and he prints out, when he goes to pick her up at the airport, he prints out a sweatshirt or a t-shirt with her face with the edited picture on it. And they meet each other, right? She comes to customs. Oh my God. And oh my God.
I have to watch this now.
And she comes with her luggage. She's like, and she sees him with the t-shirt and the face. And he looks at her and he goes, oh, it was like, and he said something like, yeah, Rebecca, she's very beautiful. They're married now. But he's like, she's very beautiful. She doesn't look exactly like her pictures, but she's very beautiful. And I mean, she was nowhere. Yes, you kind of got the idea it was the same person like 25 years ago, right?
At least do a live video feed before you fly across the world for somebody.
Can I tell you guys?
Lord,
can I tell you guys? Here's a little clue for you. No, but they might have done the video, and they did the video like,
yeah.
Hi,
right.
hun. How are you?
Right?
Like,
classic.
you can't see anything. Or how about this one?
Any dating profile that has that
one?
photo, I'm
How about
immediately
this
like,
one?
what's
How
going
about
on?
this one? Hold on. How about this one? Can I do it? Can I do it? I was trying to. Here we go. Oh, it like fades.
And
she's like,
now I'm in Bohemian Rhapsody.
She's like, hi, hun. So yeah, I don't know. The lighting is really weird in here. Can you see me okay? I mean, it's like, you're not. So now I know this thing actually, you can make it brighter.
Sitting with a pile of pillows up to her chest. It's just really comfortable to talk to you like this.
Okay. I don't know how to put it back up.
So we can't just call out the girls on this one. Guys.
I might turn the light off, you guys. I'm trying to put it back.
Seriously, gentlemen. It is 2021. It is the age of the internet. There are so many great resources out there. I'm going to make a plug for Ashley Weston. She's great, right? Go check out Ashley Weston's content. Learn how to dress yourselves. Oh my God. Walking around with your office khakis and your New Balances and your pants 4 sizes too big for you is ridiculous. I get if you're married and you don't care, fine, your prerogative, but good Lord. And at least show up with clean clothes. I had a friend, she went out dating, this guy shows up in a shirt with a soup stain on it.
Well, what about when it's wrinkled?
Gentlemen.
It's stained.
Fashion, just basic fashion. Take some time, do a little research. If you're like a CEO that's too busy or whatever, go get an image consult. Get somebody to help you. Take a girlfriend with you when you go shopping, at least.
Yeah,
I have done that. I've taken girls with me shopping, and the deal is, hey, I'll buy you like a dress by the end of the day. Some nice, not like a $5,000 ballroom gown.
Prada, here I come.
Yeah, right. But
Coach
just
bag.
pick something that's reasonable that works for you. If you help me out. Now, mind you, this is not always a good bet because girls have bad fashion too. But use your judgment. But put some energy into it. Think about it a little bit. Put some thought into it. My goodness. Sandra, bless her heart, one day, I just showed up. Where were we at? We were at the McMiniman's, right? And I had just found this nice kind of polo-ish shirt that it had like kind of a 60s vibe to it. It was like purple, but it fit me well, and it had some different coloring on it.
All right, what did I say?
Oh, you were just like, you are such a well-dressed guy and all this.
Oh,
I'm like,
you scared me. I thought I was gonna be mean.
No, not at all.
Okay.
And I was, I'm like, well, I wasn't wearing a suit. I wasn't rocking like Bond or anything crazy. I just took the time. It's like, these are good colors. These fit well. Wear nice shoes. Wear pants that fit. Don't walk around with poopy pants, with the triple XL pants on. Well, these are really comfortable,
No, what about the ones where your underwear is showing?
And you know what?
Oh my God!
I'm not even gonna pick on just the single guys. If you're going out with your wife or your girlfriend to do stuff, and I see this, if you show up, if you're rocking a nice dress and you got a nice outfit, we're going to a nice dinner, and I throw on my old ripped AC/DC t-shirt and jeans and sneakers, you might roll with me, but I feel embarrassed for her. I look at girls out on dates like that. I just feel so embarrassed. Yeah. I'm like, dude, a nice jacket. Put some effort. Care.
Yeah.
Care, man.
Yeah.
Holy cow, dude.
I agree. No, it did happen. It did happen when I was married, and I dressed my son for actually my ex's father's retirement party. And my son was dressed in a tie and a shirt, and I had a really nice outfit on, and I was like as good as it was going to get. And he walks out with like some old stained, what do you call them? Carhartt jeans, and like a wrinkled shirt that looks like it was in the bottom of his closet underneath his shoes for about 2 years. And his hair wasn't washed. And I just looked at him and I said, "Oh, I left you an outfit that I picked up from the dry cleaners." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to wear this." And I go, "Oh, okay. Are you sure you want to wear that? Because everyone's in suits and ties and, you sure?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, I'm not going to argue with you. If you're going to choose to go to your father's retirement party where everyone he knows is there and you're representing as his child, his adult child, we got a problem." So it's like half an hour before we're supposed to leave. And I'm like on my bed, like reading a book or doing something on my computer, whatever. And he comes in, he goes, "Oh, we're leaving soon, right?" And I go, "Oh, yeah, I think you're supposed to be out the door like in 15 minutes. And he goes, "Oh yeah, so why'd you take your shoes off?" And I go, "Oh, I'm not going." And he was like, "What?" I go, I'm not going. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to wear, but I'm not walking into a room with you like that. I can't do it to your father." And he just stood there and stared at me like he was trying to figure out if I was serious.
Just no awareness.
No, he just stared at me.
Walk in the room and go, "Look, my wife looks gorgeous, and I look like I just rolled out of bed in these clothes."
He thought he was making a statement.
I said, "Yeah."
He wanted to make a statement, and I said, "You'll make that statement by yourself, because I will not go with you."
Gentlemen, please.
He did put on the shirt and tie that I picked up for him.
I could pick on my ex about some things, but she was very beautiful and she dressed very well most of the time.
Yeah.
There was no way I was rolling anywhere with her looking like a bump.
Yeah. True.
Right? Put some effort and thought. And about as casual as I guess. I call it like casual fitness. Mm-hmm. I'm not really wearing active wear, but I'm wearing.
But it's nice.
I'm wearing sneakers, and I'm wearing something I could work out in, like zipped up over a normal shirt.
Casual.
I call it like my relaxed fitness outfit or something. But I'm still wearing jeans. But I'm wearing shoes that are the right color. My laces are tucked in.
He's got his stuff together. And ladies, listen, I know you're thinking, "I'm just going to the Safeway. I'm just going to the local grocery store. It's not going to matter." How do you not know, even with your mask, that maybe the guy of your dreams is across from you on the tomato aisle or whatever?
But the guy of their dreams won't care.
No, he will care.
Sorry.
And guess what? And guess what? You're not going to have the confidence to talk to him or even flirt with him if you don't feel good about yourself. So if you're feeling like kind of low and stuff, get yourself on a good workout program. Start eating healthier. Start doing your hair and your makeup. I'm not saying you have to look like you're ready for a photo shoot when you go to the grocery store, but maybe just, put in the earrings or put a little lipstick on. Not that they're going to see it through your mask, but there's tricky ways to get around those masks, girls.
Joker lipstick under the mask. Really surprising if you want to take it off.
Scare the crap out of them.
I would think it's funny.
Speaking about the 1040, we were talking about how people walk in and they look completely different. I have a little bad tip for you guys. It's like really naughty, but you could do this and it works because I've done it before. I don't want to admit that, but maybe I did it before. Maybe I didn't. I don't want to be incriminating myself. But all you do is you call the person as you're going into the bar or restaurant. Get there, find out they're there first, and then call them as you're walking in, right? And what you do is you call, and they don't know that you're there, and you can see them when they pick up the phone. And you have like the pictures are kind of like, "Oh, I'm not really sure," and they won't video chat with me. Call them and they'll answer. And before they even know who you are, you can just briefly turn around and walk out and be like, "Oh, it's really bad traffic right now. I don't think I'm going to get there for like another hour." And then just get out and go home. And I know that seems weird or bad, but like, wouldn't you rather do that than these guys who feel bad, bless their heart, and they buy the girl dinner and the girl's thinking, "Oh, I think this could be the one for me." And then he never calls her.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like it's like less painful that way? Just like, I don't know.
It depends on the person.
Yeah.
It really depends on the person, And I think especially in this goes for everybody. I think, and maybe the older we get, at least maybe past experiences or patterns. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. We talk about people; it gets complicated in a hurry, but we all have to do the work. We have to work on ourselves emotionally, physically. You know, I mean, there's effort that has to be put forward.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, at least up to the level of the kind of person you're trying to attract. And that's for men and women on both sides of the
Yeah. And I feel like we look for the answer. We look for our happiness in our partner. You should be able to say to yourself, I'm fine with my life. I feel good about my health. I feel good about my job. I feel good about my financial situation. I feel good about everything. I just kind of wish I had someone to do fun things with when I go on the weekends kayaking, or I go hiking, or I go, to the arcade to play pinball. I just wish I had someone that shared that affinity with me, that we could enjoy it together. I wish life could be with someone else and having a partner. If you're this train wreck and you're like, oh my God, I'll say it for women, okay? Because I'm a woman and I know, like, they'll be like, oh, I'm like broke and stuff. I'm going to spend my last $20 to get my nails done because I'm going to go out this weekend. Hopefully I'm going to meet a guy and he's going to be the answer to all my problems. And I'm living with my mom, but like, I'll just move in with him and then I won't have a car, but like, he'll probably have a second car, right? And we're emotional wrecks, right? We don't have our stuff together. Financially, we're in a bad situation. Well, you are if you're spending your last $20 to get your nails done to catch a man when literally you have to buy groceries on Monday. So I think that it's a big mistake to think that, oh, if I can get in the right relationship, then I'll have a great job and I'll have a car and I'll be happy. You can't put your happiness on someone else. You have to be happy by yourself, but still lack that person to, what do I want to say? Lack a person to like accentuate your life, or
they should be the icing on your awesome cake.
Yeah,
you should have the cake already. Really great cake. Yeah,
you should have the cake already. If you're looking for that person to be the cake, you got big problems.
And guys, I'm picking on you. We are the kings at complicating the heck out of our lives and justifying it. Yes, she's got a drug problem and 4 babies with 4 different daddies.
But it's not her fault.
There's some good there. I'll just take her and all the kids in. This will be great. It'll be great. And guys.
God bless your hearts. God bless your hearts.
Really, it's not just about whether or not we get her to like us. Okay, we have to decide if we like her, and we have to look at it very objectively as well. Okay, and I'm not making fun of people with kids.
No, and there's plenty of women that have 4 kids that are they've been through a rough road, but they're trying to do their best.
Yeah,
so we're not saying that.
I'm not picking on either for being a mom in this case.
No.
But there's usually signals that if you look a little bit beyond what you first see, there's a whole bunch of mess there.
Yeah.
Right. And if they're not actively doing the work, you make sure they're not just talking about it, because that can be a trap. I fell into that one before. Just proceed with caution. And that really goes with everybody, but guys especially, man, I see is just the worst about just, I've got attention. This is great. I'm just going to just dive right in, man.
And I love that, because they're like damsel in distress. You guys fall for the damsel in distress every time.
Yeah, that's such a flag for me now.
But I don't have a car right now because my car broke down because somebody borrowed it, and then it broke down, and then they didn't want to fix it, and then I had to. Let me tell you something. When they start telling you the whole sordid web of their life, and there's a lot of drama, more than likely they're going to bring that drama right to your front doorstep and through your front door.
Look for accountability, right? If they don't have any personal accountability to speak of that you can see, that's almost for both sides, right?
Right.
None of this is my fault,
Right.
I left the gas on, my house exploded. A stupid gas company, some people just have 0 accountability, man.
Right.
It's amazing.
Right.
Absolutely amazing.
And I'm going to say for the women, okay? Again, God bless your hearts. But you guys meet someone and you meet this guy and he just had a rough road and he was with his ex and she took all of his money and he was so
Not
sweet.
His fault.
And he was so sweet. He left her with his car. So now he's got no car. And then he had a great job, but she always wanted him. She made him call in sick and then he lost the job. And right now he's kind of in between places. And oh, you're just all smitten with him because he's got those pretty blue eyes and he just makes you feel all, got the butterflies. Next thing you know, the dude's living in your house. He's eating your kids' cereal in the morning with them at breakfast. You're going to work every day to make sure all the bills are paid, and you come home and you're like, "Hey babe, how did it go today? How did it go with what?" Well, I mean, were you looking for a job or, oh, not today. I was like busy with, I was at the gym and stuff. I mean, that's some high drama.
And a guy like that, you can usually tell. I mean, he's not going to take time to learn how to dress very effectively, right? He's probably
he might be. If he's a narcissist, he might be a great dresser and very attractive. But he's going to always give you a reason that he is the constant victim of his life. And he doesn't have his job because it's someone else's fault. He doesn't have a car because it's someone else's fault. He doesn't have money because it's someone else's fault. And you're just like pulled in and you're like, oh God, because you gave him the benefit of the doubt that he was telling the truth. And then slowly it reveals itself. But now he's living with you. He's in your space. You got your kids there with this guy. I mean, getting rid of him is going to get real sticky. So here's what I'm going to say to you. Sometimes people have a hard way in life and they hit rock bottom. And maybe it's this guy's moment that he hit rock bottom. Sorry, my foot's like
that's all right.
trying to find a place to sit. Okay, are you settled now?
Foot by mistake.
Are you settled now? My feet are freezing cold. Okay, so here's the thing, you guys. Maybe he is in that point, and you can offer to take him to church. You can offer to pray with him. You can offer to be his friend. You cannot get into a relationship. Bring him into your home, be intimate, introduce him to your children, and take on his burdens. Because I'll tell you what, men need to be responsible for themselves. It's how they feel good about themselves. And you become mommy when you bring him in and you feed him and you clothe him and he's got a place to stay. You're mommy now. You have to constantly give and take care of him forever. He really, in his mind, you have put yourself in that position where you're taking care of him and that's just your job. And you're not going to help him grow and you're not going to help him get strong. So be his friend, be there and be as supportive as you can be, but do not get into a relationship with him. Tell him, I'm interested in you. I would love to be in a relationship with you. Go ahead. You concentrate on you right now and get your life in order. Yeah, guess what? If the guy is not the best guy, it's never going to happen. He'll leave. He'll disappear. He won't even talk to you anymore because he was trying to play his little game with you and you didn't fall for it. You didn't let him move in. You didn't start taking care of him. And he's not interested in fixing himself. He's interested in the meal ticket. And that happens for women too, I'm sure.
Well, and the other perspective of that, and I don't necessarily know that I speak for all guys on this because I tend to be a little different than the beaten path in society. But like, if a girl's with a guy and we just know he's complete disaster, or like he dresses like a bum, for instance, and he's just a wreck, and she's taking care of him and playing this game. She gets away from him later and decides she wants to date like a guy that's well adjusted and got his stuff together, and starts showing interest to that guy. And he's been watching this, at least for me. I mean, I saw this recently, and I was just like in a state of confusion. Like, well, you don't, no.
You got some guy sleeping at your house, and he's got no job. Why would some guy who has his stuff together be interested in that?
You're clearly, you seem to fly at a different level, like a different altitude than I do. Or, I mean, I don't mean to shame, but it's like there's a, I don't know. I'm not that kind of guy that I see you go for.
Yeah.
So it's just confusing for me, right?
And that's the other thing, ladies, is a lot of times when we have low self-esteem, we're more than likely going to pick a guy who needs us because it makes us feel like he's not going to leave. But the reality is, more than likely, while you're at work and he's on the couch at your house using your internet Wi-Fi, he's on a dating app trying to find his next better situation. Yeah, you're great and all, but like there's one other lady that's like lives at the beach with the house overlooking the water, and if he can hook that up, and he's doing that because that's his job.
Monkey branching, that's what they call it.
Oh, really?
They call it monkey branching. Yep. Guys talk about that with girls a lot too.
Tell me.
Like, you just get with a partner, and clearly it's not gender specific or sex specific, depending on because gender is very fluid in 2021. Yeah, it's the idea that it's a mixture of hypergamy, and monkey branching. always looking for the next best thing and trying to line up to just swing over to that next branch.
Yeah.
Right.
And here you think, oh, you got this guy that's like really going to get his life together now that you're in it again. But I can change him with all the love. I can change him.
And ladies, we're not picking on you, because I will tell you, I have done this as a man.
Yeah.
With a female.
Yeah.
And what really tricked me with her is she was like, oh, I'm doing the work. I'm doing all this and that and the other. And I'm signing up for this now. And we're going ahead. And it's going to be great, great, great. And then a couple weeks later, her dad's threatening to call the cops on us for domestic after she starts screaming and trying to hit me in front of her child. Like, just an example. No names here, right? But I mean,
if she's watching this, she knows who we're talking about.
I'm very guilty. I'm just as guilty as the next person.
Yeah. Yeah.
The pizza analogy I came up with, right? You order a pizza, and you open the pizza, and like half the pizza's moldy, or even just one slice of that. This is two. This one slice of the pizza's moldy, and I'm not paying for this. This is a complete outrage. And you're calling the pizza place. I want my money back. And how could you send me this moldy pizza? But with people, we'll open it up and be like, well, there's a couple of good slices here, right? And they're really great to munch on, and the rest of it's a moldy disaster. And we just.
Yeah.
We don't look at the same.
Why do we do that? Why do we live in denial? And we're like, but it's really okay. I know he drinks until he passes out and can't remember the next day.
Well, that's just one slice of the pizza.
But he's such a great guy.
Yeah.
He's such a great guy.
And none of us are perfect, right? We've all got things to work on.
Right.
I think what it amounts to is, are you with somebody that you're comfortable sharing all of that and you help each other grow together? I think that's where it really lines up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
gotta be able to track it though. You can't be just distracted by shiny lights in the sky. Oh,
yeah.
This is okay, and he says he's working on it, even though it's going nowhere.
So I asked my grandma, who was married for 50-something years until she passed away, and then my grandpa followed shortly thereafter. And you'll find people that have been married a really long time and have had successful marriages. They tend to, one passes and then the other one passes right after, because they become the same person. And I asked my grandma when I was young, I said, Grandma, how is it that you guys stayed married for so long? How do you find that person that you're going to be with till you die? And she said, well, it's not about the butterflies, because the butterflies leave. And eventually what you have is compassion, you have loyalty, you have companionship, and you have trust. And when you have those four things, the butterflies, they go, because our faces change, our bodies change, but the love is still there. And they were so happy together. And I think that I wonder if people today, and Justin, I'd like your take on this. We're all about disposable society. Like, if it's not perfect, throw it out. And women are constantly trying to look, they'll do anything to be beautiful, and men are trying to, do whatever they can do. But I almost wonder if we're putting too much value on looks. I'm not saying you should be attracted to the person and they should present themselves as they are, but I wonder if a true life partner is someone that you have the same values with, that you guys really click. If your whole thing in life is kayaking, and you meet a girl and she's like, okay, I'll try it, and she goes and doesn't like it, what's the likelihood, if you spend every weekend kayaking, that you guys are going to be good for marriage if she doesn't want to have anything to do with it?
Yeah, probably not.
So I wonder if almost like we should, like on Married at First Sight, another show I watched, Guilty as Charged. And so if you haven't seen the show, it's about, they take two strangers and a team of experts basically do all of this analogy and interviews and have them fill out extensive forms to figure out where they are at their core. And then they match someone with them at the altar, and they literally don't see their potential spouse until they are marrying them at the altar. And they've been chosen by all these experts on the core values. And I know that that's kind of extreme, because you do want to have an idea of who you're going to marry, like kind of be able to choose, like, of these 10 women, which one do you think you like best? And they're not really giving them that option, so they don't have the best track record. But I do wonder if maybe the next place to find your future partner is at a place that you're really in a group or in a meeting or a setting where you're really going to be doing something you're passionate about, so you could find someone else that was really passionate about it.
Yeah. Funny. I actually heard a guy talking about one time. He's like, "Look, don't go to something just because girls are going to be there, right? Well, I mean, speed dating or something.
Right.
It's going to be a little different. But if you're looking, and I'm not omitting gay guys on purpose, but I think this is good advice for you as well. Go do the things you want to do in the groups you want to do, and if girls happen to show up, great.
Right. Or guys, if you're
or guys. Yeah. And if all the stuff you like to do, there's no female male presence, whatever you're into, then okay, look at other options. But don't like if you hate bars, if you hate karaoke, if you hate that whole scene, you force yourself to go out and be in that. You're not going to be comfortable. And you're always going to be your best when you're comfortable, right?
I also think it's good to try things. Like if you date someone and let's say they were really into long distance cycling and you've never even gone farther than a mile on your bike as a kid, like I think it'd be worth it to give it a try because maybe you would enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, try
but
something
if you
that
don't
doesn't
enjoy
conflict
it,
with you in your core.
If you don't enjoy it and this potential partner spends every vacation taking his bike or her bike and they're traveling to a place where they can bike 30 miles a day, are you going to be happy in that relationship?
I mean, the one girl I dated for a little while, she's like, "Hey, come play tennis with me." No idea what
but he tried
doing.
But he tried.
And it was fun. It was fun. It was hard to hold a conversation. The second I'd start talking and not watching the ball, it'd just be embarrassing. But yeah, it was fun. It's definitely fun to try and try different things. Yeah, for sure. There is something to be pushing past your comfort zone, but you also got to know what you like at your core. Yeah. And don't want to step out to, hey, come to church with me. You're great. It's probably not going to fly with me. Like, no. Right out the gates. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, well, I think first or second date to church might be a bit much.
Universalist, Unitarian church. Yeah. I would do that. But
well, here's the thing. I think, so number one, like Justin was saying, for the guys and the girls, dress, what's that thing in the program? I'm not in the program, but I have family, 22 members in the program, so I know a lot of most of the program. And they say, dress the part? No, suit up and show up. Suit up and show up. And there's another one that I used to love, and it was like, it's not from the program, I don't think, but it's like act as if you already have it. And so something like that. Bottom line is this: suit up and show up. Gonna go to the grocery store, ladies, lipstick, little earring, the hair cute. You might meet somebody there that you like. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. And for Justin, he was saying for the guys, you guys, come on, don't pull out the shirt that smells like mothballs that was like from 1985, but it really did well for you with the ladies in 1985. That thing needs to go to Goodwill or just burn it in the burn pile.
At least switch up with something clean. Like this guy showed up on the date and then told my friend with his soup stain, "I really want a girl with her life together." I'm like, dude, you can't put on a clean shirt.
What he was trying to say is, I really want a girl that knows how to use spray and wash.
I think
when they do my lunch.
I think we were all like madder than she was about it.
Yeah,
we were all just livid. Like, so I wanted to slap this guy.
Yeah,
like,
so suit up and show up,
dude.
Go to places where you know you're gonna find like-minded people. And if you're like, my favorite thing to do is quilting, and I'm a female and I'm not a lesbian, so like, how am I ever gonna meet a guy at quilting class? Okay, so that gets a little tough, right? And Justin might be like, hey, I want to go to the UFC gym to like go do wrestling. Like, probably not going to find a lot of girls there. So you might need to broaden your interests a little, try some new things.
But,
okay.
In that example, I mean, if you're passionate about it, you like talking about it, totally fine to tell girls you're into that.
It's trying to tell them, but that's not where you're going to find them.
No, exactly.
That's the thing. So if you want to find a girl,
it's a masculine thing to do.
Yeah, and if I want to find a guy, I don't quilt. But if I would not go to quilting class, because more than likely, if there was a guy there, he probably likes the same sex. Every time I move my feet back, you have to put your feet back there, your hands back there, like every single time.
My hands are right here.
I know, but you had to move back. We're both trying to get in the frame, okay? We're gonna figure this out. Stop! You're driving me crazy. Okay, so is it a competition for who's taller? Because you're taller. Okay.
I'm sorry.
So we have what do we have so far? What do we have so far? Suit up and show up. Find interests that you enjoy and try to meet people in that scenario. Or in the case where you might hit a dead end in that particular hobby or two that you have, broaden your horizons, try something new. They always say try an extension course at the college. I mean, for guys in art class, like I feel like every woman does like those paint and sips. You will meet women if you go to those things.
I have taken girls on paint and sips.
Yeah,
I've done. I've got a couple of those.
Women love those.
I've got a couple of those for taking girls out on paint and sips.
Yeah,
it's fun.
And the other place to go, you'd be surprised, is going to get a pedicure. Because guess what? Men never get pedicures, and a lot of times there's ladies in the. I walked in to see if they would put jewel my nails today. And there was a guy in there with like 10 other women. I thought to myself, that's a perfect place if you want to meet a woman, because there's so many women at a nail salon, right? So, I mean, I'm just saying it's a possibility.
I've never done the pedicure. I've done a manicure before. And, guys, we should have clean nails at least.
Yeah.
Clean and like evenly cut and stuff.
Yeah. And you know what?
Dirt under the fingernails and stuff.
And the Portland beard thing, I can't stand it, you guys. No, you're not sexy. Oh, did you think that women like it? What's that guy? What's that guy? Starts with a B. He was on TV a long time ago with the big Grizzly Adams. You're not Grizzly Adams.
That's
you're not
really dated. A lot of people are gonna have to Google that.
Okay, well, who's somebody more recent?
Oh, I don't know, but yeah, there's a like a hipster trend where the guy's very feminine, really, but has this masculine look of a beard. It's so confusing to me. I grew up in a coastal city in Oregon. Those guys were out like felling trees and driving old beat up Fords.
Right. If you're a logger,
getting in their hybrid and driving around their beard. So funny.
So here's what I want to say about the beard thing. If you're gonna have a beard, it needs to be taken to a barber where they will sit there and they will trim it and make sure it's all one length and it's clean and it's shaved in the appropriate places where it's a really clean looking beard. If you're that guy that's got this big puffball and you think you're super hot, let me tell you something. When you eat food or you drink, your hair soaks up the smell of it. When you smoke a cigarette, I mean, hopefully you don't, but if you do, your hair now smells like cigarettes. And now you think a girl is anxious to kiss you? No, she's not. So before you guys get off on this whole like, oh, women think beards are sexy. No, women think beards are sexy when they're well groomed and taken care of, not like you that have like leftover scrambled eggs from 3 days ago right here. So
a little bird.
Yeah.
A little bird living in it.
And then we also talked about values and how if you see someone surrounded by drama or someone who's completely on a different life path than you, that's fine. Run parallel with them for a while and get to know them, but do not bring them into your life, into your bed, around your children until they have their stuff together.
It's funny. I had a girl ask me for like dating advice, and I'm like, well, I'm not sure what you're really asking me, but very introverted, only had, very small amount of relationship stuff. I'm like, honestly, and this is where I make a plug for like the religious institution where they're like, the whole no sex before marriage. I'm sure it's got different reasons historically and stuff, but I'm like, there's some value in not getting the pheromones and the oxytocin mix really early on, because it tends to skew your thought process, right? And get you to look past things that you should take heed to. And I told her, I'm like, honestly, I know there's a lot of talk like the friend zone and stuff, but I really feel like taking it slow and, you don't have to be completely platonic, but just like hooking up right away. It can really cause a lot of issues later on. Truly integrating and getting to get a feel for each other and getting to know each other and truly knowing each other as a person, I feel like has a lot more value than the butterflies are gone, next on to more butterflies, right?
Yeah. And I'm going to explain it from a primitive area of mine. This is a male. He's part of the male human species. For thousands of years, he had to hunt and protect. He is a hunter by nature. I am a female. And you guys can say I'm being sexist, and that's fine. It's fine.
I've got my club over here somewhere. I'm just waiting for the right time.
Yeah, exactly. I am the gatherer. I'm the nurturer. I am more compassionate, more emotional, and more of the caretaker. Men are hunters, and they're hunters in every way. And even though we live in a society where they no longer hunt, or do they? Because when it comes to women, that part of I believe it's in the amygdala, but, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, that primitive area of mine is turning on, the circuit is turning on when Justin sees a female to possibly procreate with.
If I'm inspired enough.
He's driven towards that female and he's on the hunt, okay? If that female turns around and lays on the ground and spreads her legs and says, okay, go for it, do your thing, impregnate me with your seed, inside joke, he will do it, but then he will be off to the next hunt. It is really important, ladies, that men be allowed to pursue you, because men, whether they consciously acknowledge this, and Justin may not, but subconsciously, if he does not pursue, he wasn't on a hunt and he doesn't get the conquest. If you just lay down and go, yeah, that's great, come on over to my house and get busy with him, and you're thinking, I'm going to lock this in, he's going to be my man, and if he didn't plan on it, he'll have to do it now because I'll just guilt him into it. They don't care. They'll let you spread their legs, they'll get their thing, and then they'll go. But if they have to pursue you and they have to strategize, and you I'm not saying to hold off to punish them. I'm saying don't give up the intimacy factor until you know that you are in fact in an exclusive relationship with them and it's going somewhere.
There is a fantastic book, and I only read a quarter of it because I'm not out to get men personally.
Okay.
But I read like a quarter of this book, and I was like, this lady has unlocked the Matrix. Oh, are you kidding me right now? And it is called Why Men Love Bitches.
Oh, okay.
And it is a fantastic book for you.
Probably
fantastic.
Talking about the hunter.
This from a guy.
Probably talking about the hunter.
It's all about getting a guy. Like, I only read a quarter of it because I'm like, well, I just got morbid curiosity. It wasn't expensive on Kindle, and I got a quarter way through. I said, okay, this lady knows what's up already. Like,
I'm not.
She starts it with, pretty women get dumped all the time. Beauty is not enough. That is like the first two sentences in that book.
A man has to feel like you are his conquest, and if you give it up too quickly and you become intimate too quickly, he will race. He will race out of there, and I'm going to tell you why. Again, talking about his primitive area of mind. If you're just going to let anyone impregnate you that comes along, like you let him, how many other men were there before him, and how many other men will be there after? And I'm not saying that's true, but that's how men think about it. Wow, she slept with me on the second date. She invited me over and we did it. And man, I wonder like who else was at her house this week, and who else is she still talking to? Correct or not correct?
Yep.
Aren't you kind of wondering? So don't do that, ladies. Tell him you're interested. Let him know you're interested. Let him know that you're thinking about that direction, but that you guys aren't there yet. You know, declare that you're valuable, because you are valuable. And for the women that think if they get the guy to sleep with them, they can guilt them into the relationship, it might work for a little bit. It won't work for long. They won't. They're never going to ask you to marry them. I guarantee that. They might stick around for the free food and the free you know what, but they're not. They're not thinking serious about it.
Well, yeah, and if they see like attempts at manipulation and they're aware of it, it's probably going to be way worse.
Yeah.
They're probably just
and if you use sex,
absolutely excommunicate.
Yeah, and if you use sex as a strategic thing, like for women that say, I'm mad at you and you can't, you know, like the wife that says, I'm mad, you know, you did this or that, you made me mad, and now I refuse it. That's using sex as a strategic move. And when you say, I just met this guy, I really like him, I know he's dating a couple other women, I'm going to sleep with him, and then I'll just, you know, then he'll have to be my boyfriend. You're using sex as a strategic move. Never seek to manipulate, because eventually the other person's going to figure out what's going on.
Well, and not even just any kind of dynamic like that in relationships.
Any manipulation.
It's not healthy at all.
That's true. That's true. So what else do we want to talk about? Let's add one more point onto this. Dating during complicated times. Oh, I have a good one. What if you are totally pro becoming jabbed, whatever, and you're like a big time Democrat, and your partner is a total Republican, totally against it, into every conspiracy theory? Can that relationship work? And if so, how? How do they manage? Because we probably have a couple out here that's going to watch this that are on complete opposite sides, and yet they love each other.
Yeah, it might be possible. And, at the end of the day, there's understanding and respecting a viewpoint, even if you don't like it or agree with it in every way.
Yeah.
I've never, personally, I don't really judge relationship prospects on politics per se. If they take a lot of things to an extreme viewpoint, really, I think a lot of things, just about anything taken to a real extreme enough viewpoint is just a no. Like, come on, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
I want to come home and hear screaming and yelling and carrying on. I want to spend all my days discussing,
how you're pissed off
certain
about this news
problems
article.
and certain demographics that I may not even be a part of, that there's really nothing I can tangibly do about because nobody's giving me a healthy avenue to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. I don't know about the politics side of things. I'm sure there are couples out there like that. I know, like my aunt and uncle. My aunt, she goes to church every Sunday. They've been married 25, 30 years now? No, it's more than 30. I think they've been married like 32 or 33 years now. And he's an atheist. I don't care. As far as I can
They
tell.
don't let it interfere with their relationship.
No, she does her thing on Sundays and he goes at home and that's fine. And eventually the boys went to the side of their dad and the daughter went to the side of the church. And that's why I fell into so many traps with dating incompatible girls, because to me, I'm like, well, that's fine if that works for you, but when internally it doesn't work for them, but they're trying to change it. You don't want to be in a relationship with that dynamic, male, female, gay, straight. Like, you just don't want to enter a relationship in that kind of dynamic.
I think for me, it's about negativity surrounding your point of view, meaning that if you're all for the church, all against the church, if you're all for being a Republican and having your gun rights, if you're all for a Democrat and everybody should wear a mask until 2030, I think that's all fine, but I don't want it to ruin our Friday night. I'm coming home from work you just read an article about whatever that just got you infuriated, and now I've got to hear you rant on for the next 2 hours about, I don't even care if I agree with you. I don't want that negativity in my life. Yeah, share it with me. Say, I read this article and it was like kind of, wow, that was a drag. And I'm good for 10 minutes of that. And then let's go enjoy our evening. Because guess what, you guys? Life is freaking short.
Well,
can we please enjoy it a little bit?
Extreme polarities are very much an American phenomenon.
Yeah.
It's like, heaven forbid, you're like, I'm an extreme Democrat and I carry a gun everywhere. Pro-Second Amendment.
Everyone's going to be confused.
Yeah, right? There's these heaven forbid, you're liberal about some things and conservative about others, and form your own opinions and think for yourself and don't fit into a mold, right? I've got this great book by a spiritual author named Michael Mead, and it's called The Genius Illusion. And the person that's truly like a genius and doing things counterculture and goes against the grain, well, not recognized as a genius. They're like scorned, right?
Yeah.
They're like scorned and ridiculed, and nobody understands it. And
because they didn't they're not think
truly
like everyone else.
Genius unless they're really exceptional in a way that fits in with the mainline conformity, right? Mainstream conformity. And if somebody recommended
what was the name of that book again?
The Genius Illusion, I think.
Okay.
You look it up.
Yeah, look it up. That sounds interesting.
It is really interesting. It was it was recommended to me because I live my life a different way, and there's some parts of our culture I've just never wanted to be a part of, don't care about.
Yeah.
And somebody said you should really read this book. And okay.
And I'll tell you guys something. If you want to be healthy and you want to have a happy relationship and you want to live a long time, avoid negativity. Am I saying put your head in the sand, pretend like nothing's going on? No. What I'm saying is when you read something that you might not agree with, or you might get into a conflict with a partner, make sure. Genius Myth. Okay. The book is Genius Myth.
By Michael Mead.
By Michael Mead. But if you feel like you're in that negative space, it's time to get out of it as quickly as possible. We know, scientifically speaking, people that live in a more positive frame of mind live longer, they live healthier, and they have happier relationships. So for some of us, it comes naturally. I am naturally a positive person. I naturally, in most cases, until recently with writing a book, I'm pretty positive, and I try to keep on the upside of things. I know people that doesn't come naturally to them, and they have to work harder at it. But that doesn't mean that you can't do it. So if you were raised around people that were negative Nillies, guess what? You might feel like a negative Nilly, but you're not. It's not a life sentence, you guys. You can change it, and by changing it, you actually change your health. You change your emotional health. You change your physical health, and you make the people around you happier. And there's a book I'll bring up that's called How to Make Any Man Fall in Love with You, or A Man Fall in Love with You. It's an older book. It was produced probably in the 80s or 90s. Still true today is a man does not fall in love with you. He falls in love with how he feels when he's around you. And let's take that a little further. It's not just men wanting to date you. I'm talking about when I come in to a room and I make the people I see and I know, I make them feel like I value them. I'm happy to see them, and I want their interaction, and I want their feedback, and I want to be close to them. They're going to love me. If I come into the room and I'm pissed off and I had a bad day and there's traffic and then this guy flipped me off, so I got out and threw my soda into his window, you just brought in a whole, it's like a cloud over the room. But you know what? When you walk around with that mind frame, or even just so caught up in yourself because you're so introverted that you walk in and you make people feel uncomfortable, it's not even that you mean to do it. It's just that you're like, oh God, they're probably looking at what I'm wearing. I don't know, does my hair look right? I feel like I look stupid today. You are giving off that negative vibe. So try to be aware of every time you come into contact with anyone, even if it's just at the grocery store. Try to give off a positive energy. And if you feel challenged by that, I would highly suggest that you do guided meditation and, do meditation, do guided meditation, repeat affirmations every morning, eat a better diet, because we also know the people that are more negative are generally hopped up on caffeine and alcohol and cigarettes.
Yeah,
so
they're doing this.
Yeah, they are. They're constantly on the and sugar too. Food is an addiction. So right. So
I'm on a sugar reduction cleanse. I gave myself a little bit of quarter and had a Yorito, like a Mexican drink, and I had like a Thai iced tea, which has probably got some sugar. That's it. That's all I've had this week.
Hey, it's about little changes. Just being aware of those little changes. One small difference, one little change can make a huge difference over time, right? Right. And so I think before we finish this off, we will just say that if you watch this later, please tell us your challenges. If we get enough people asking more questions, we would love to be able to answer those for you on a future video if enough people watch this and want to hear us talk more about dating and relationships. So good luck out there. I'm wishing you the best. Go out and get them. Okay, go out and get them. Suit up and show up. Find things you love to do. Try to meet people in that arena, and you're gonna give yourself better odds for dating. Yes. Okay. Until next time.
And fashion will help everything.
Yes.
Guys, look at you.
Ladies, I'm looking at you.
No khakis and New Balances.
All right. Bye, you guys. Till next time. You're so